Alright, I've got another 2 hour long commute through the beautiful foothills of modern day southern suburbia, which means I have time to do another quick and dirty movie review. And the film I saw most recently, I think it's worth talking about, but not really for positive reasons, is a motion picture called Under the Skin. Perhaps you've heard of it. It's a fairly popular indie cult sci-fi avant-garde movie from I believe it's Scotland, and it stars Scarlett Johansson. What's her name? The Black Widow from all those Marvel movies that are infantilizing the entire nation. Well, anyway, she stars in it, and it's basically like the highbrow version of Species. Okay, remember that movie from the 90s where you had Natasha Henstridge, and she's playing the alien chick who shoved her tongue through people's faces? Well, basically, this is the exact same premise. She's playing, ironically, actual extraterrestrial Black Widow. And what she does is she runs around Scotland driving in this rental van, and she picks up dudes, and she takes them to this warehouse somewhere like in Glasgow. It's like totally black, and half the floor is like some really weird viscous fluid, and she hypnotizes them so that they fall into the little plasma chamber, and they get caught and they drown, and slowly but surely, they turn into these little I don't know, how would you describe it if you've seen the movie? They're deflated. I mean, literally deflated. Like they have like all their bone and muscle tissue sucked out of them somehow. So they're just basically big clumps of skin and wrinkles. Well, anyway, that's pretty much the gist of the movie. She does that for about an hour, just trying to find different victims. She's going the whole Hellraiser approach. She finds one dude who's like really deformed, and she lets him go. And there's a subplot about this one hiker dude who's probably also an alien who helps her out sometimes. So for the first hour, I mean, it's not a great movie, but it's passable. Now, after the 60-minute mark, you might as well turn it off because this movie goes absolutely nowhere. It's basically just her like walking around, exploring her body. She shacks up with this one dude and freaks out after they do the horizontal mamba. And eventually the movie ends with her going out in the wilderness and being attacked by a lumberjack or firefighter or something like that. He tries to Bill Cosby her, and he ends up like ripping her tailbone out and exposing her as an alien, and then he sets her on fire and the movie's over. So I know the way I described it, this sounds like something you might want to see, but I just want to tell you it's not that good of a movie. I heard lots of really good things about it, but honestly, I just wasn't a big fan. I enjoy the really artsy movies. I will sit down, I will watch Bellatar all day, even movies that are horrible like The Trojan Horse. I'll watch that. I have an appreciation for it. I really like the reserved approach to these things. But this movie, it's just, it tries so hard to be political without being political. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, the entire movie is making some sort of really abstruse statement about misogyny and rape culture. Like, I don't know, there's like this scene early on where they're doing like a random jump cut of a whole bunch of pastiches of women, and they're going to the club, and they got their heels on, they got their hair up, and they got their hoop earrings on, they're looking all hot and stuff. And then later on in the movie, there's like a different jump cut, pretty much following the same montage sequence, where like they're all old and wrinkly, and they're smoking, and they're obese, and nobody's wearing makeup, and they all look really unattractive. And of course, trying to draw some kind of parallels there. And obviously, all the guys in the movie are completely one-dimensional. Nobody's really relatable. They're all just out there to get some intergalactic nookie. They just go in there hook, line, and sinker. They're being led around by, their libido. And all the women are pretty much depicted as, well, actually, I think Scarlett Johansson is pretty much the only female actress actually in the movie that really has any lines, but there's clearly some sort of intent. They're trying to say something about gender roles and the way culture as a large depicts women, treats women, or sexualizes them. But the way the movie approaches it, it's done in such a needlessly abstract, artsy manner that I really don't know what they're trying to say, other than pretty much just the obvious stuff that all men are a bunch of horn dogs and dingbats and women are just admired for their physical attractiveness and all that good stuff, i.e. the stuff we've seen, heard 14 bajillion times before. So, to conclude, Under the Skin, overall, not a very good film. I mean, the first hour is alright, but I think, by you get to the end of the movie, it's about an hour and 40 minutes long. You're going to be pretty disappointed. I don't know. I just really didn't like it. There's better stuff out there. There are some people that listed this as the absolute best movie of 2014. Admittedly, I've not seen a lot of movies from 2014. But, if this is the best we can do, it was a really, really bad year at the theaters. So, to conclude, not a fan of Under the Skin.